Hello everyone, I'm Alfian and today we are going to solve the Hackerrank preparation section called the Algorithm and the Implementation Challenge called the Apple and Orange case. And for this one, we are going to solve some riddle that includes that is about Sam's house, the region of the Sam's house, and then the house is surrounded by two trees. The one is called the apple tree and the other one is the orange tree. And then we are going to test to see how many fruits are dropped or landed inside the territory of Sam's house. For his territory or the Sam's house is considered the starting point as S and then the ending point as T, that is the region. And then for the A is the location of the apple tree, and then for the B is the location of the orange tree, and then the apples array is the like how many apples are landed or how much apples are landed on inside his territory or inside his house area. And also the same also applies on the oranges array. And for this one we are returning the void function because we are not returning anything, and then we can use the console log to log as the usual, to log how many fruits are landed on his house area. And for this one we are logging the apple counter, and then for the second one we are logging the orange counter. And then we are declaring the variable called the apple counter, and also declaring the apple counter. I'm sorry, let me write it again. If I should use array destructuring for the variable or not, we can just use orange counter to count how many oranges are fallen to the Sam's house. And then for this one we can use the standard for loop iteration using the for of loop apple of apples, and then we are counting one by one using more verbose approach. Let's declare the landing position, and then we are using the iteration, the current iteration apple. For this one we are declaring the apple tree first because the apple tree, we can use the apple tree as the reference. We can measure the drop distance or the landing distance using the tree and then the apple array, and then we can measure it later to see which one is landed on Sam's house using the apple tree parameter, and then iterating the current apple, and then to check if landing position is higher or equal than the starting position or the starting position of the Sam's house area using the parameter of the S, and then N, the landing position, is still inside the Sam's house area, which is below the limits. If it's true, then we are counting the apple counter by 1. Don't forget to declare this using 0 as the initial value, and also we can reuse the for loop and also apply to the orange counter, and then iterating the orange of the oranges array, and then change the apple to orange because we are counting the orange. And also don't forget to change the tree of the orange tree called the B parameter, and also don't forget to change the apple counter to the orange counter. And then let's run this to see if it works. For this case, I also have another approach to solve this one to make it even easier, using the built-in JavaScript function called the filter. And then for this one, let's remove the for loop and simplify our approach. Let's delete this, and then we can use the iterating the apples array. Of course, we are using the apples filter, and then iterating the element of the apple. We can use the apple parameter, the same as element, and we are counting the A plus apple. A, in this case, we are using the apple tree position, and then to check if the apple tree position plus the current iteration of apple, and check if they are landing inside the area. Also check using the A plus apple, and then using the below or equal sign to the maximum limit of Sam's house, and then the filter already with the close brackets, and then we are using the length property of the filter. So let me explain it a little. So for the filter array, we are iterating just like the for loop. We are iterating the apple element inside the apples array, and then this contains several numbers that we can count using the initial position of the array of the apple tree, and then to check if the drops of every apple is still inside the Sam's house area, and then if it's true, then we are returning. If all is true, then returning the length. Let's say if every apple is dropped inside if every single apple is dropped inside the Sam's house, then we are returning the new filtered array, and then using the length property that return the counter of the has been dropped inside the Sam's house. And also we can apply the same thing to the oranges array using the same thing. We can just copy this to make it even faster. For the sake of this video, can use the Ctrl D to select the same syntaxes. Orange, just type orange and then press escape. Let's run this to see if it works. Looks like we are returning an error. It's because I forgot to change the tree position from the apple to the orange tree. We should use the B parameter instead of the A parameter because we are counting the oranges that drop from the orange tree, not from the apple tree. Let's run this again to see if it works. Let's submit this. Okay, so that's about it. I hope you understand this video. If you have any other questions or if you have any other solutions, then you can ask in the comment section. I hope you have a great day and I will see you on the next video. Goodbye.